through his mind. If this was happening in his own company under his own nose, what else had he missed? The truth he was about to uncover would be worse than anything he'd imagined, and it would force him to question everything he thought he knew about leadership loyalty and the real cost of looking the other way. What started as a routine visit was about to become the most important 48 hours of his career. Stay with me because what happens next will change how you see workplace leadership forever. Jackson knocked gently on the restroom door. "Excuse me. Are you okay in there?" The sobbing stopped abruptly. He heard shuffling, then the sound of someone trying to compose themselves. "I'm fine. Just give me a minute." But her voice betrayed everything. This wasn't fine. This was a woman on the edge. When Elena Santos finally emerged, Jackson saw a petite Latina woman in her early 40s. Her custodial uniform wrinkled and her eyes red from crying. She quickly bent to retrieve her name badge, but her hands were shaking so badly she could barely grasp it. "I'm sorry," she whispered, not making eye contact. "I shouldn't be. I need to get back to work." Jackson studied her more closely. Elena's hands were cracked and raw from harsh cleaning chemicals. Dark circles shadowed her eyes, the kind that come from working multiple jobs and getting too little sleep. But it was something else that caught his attention. The way she flinched when footsteps approached from the main floor. "You don't look fine," Jackson said softly. "I'm Mike. By the way. Just started here today." Elena glanced up, seeming to assess whether this stranger could be trusted. After a moment, her shoulders sagged with exhaustion. "It's just everything's falling apart," she admitted. "My daughter Sophia needs surgery. Her heart condition is getting worse and I can't afford." She stopped herself, shaking her head. "I'm sorry. You don't need to hear this. How long have you worked here?" Jackson asked. 3 years, never missed a day, never been late, but lately?" She gestured helplessly toward a bulletin board covered in work schedules. Jackson followed her gaze and felt his stomach drop. The schedule was a mess of crossed-out shifts, reduced hours, and handwritten changes. Elena's name appeared sporadically. Sometimes 20 hours one week, 35 the next, then dropped back to 15. No consistency, no way to budget or plan. "They keep cutting my hours," Elena explained, her voice barely audible. "Mr. Miller says it's corporate policy, but I don't understand. The store is always busy. We're always understaffed." Jackson's jaw clenched. He knew the corporate policy on scheduling, and this wasn't it. Full-time employees were guaranteed consistent hours. What he was seeing looked like deliberate manipulation. And when I asked about the health insurance that was supposed to kick in after 90 days, Elena's voice cracked. "He said I wasn't eligible because my hours were too irregular." The pieces were starting to form a picture that made Jackson blood boil, but he forced himself to stay calm to keep playing his role. "That doesn't sound right," he said carefully. Elena looked around nervously, then leaned closer. "There are others, too. Tommy in electronics, Leah Torres in cosmetics. We're all having the same problems, but Mr. Miller says if we don't like it, plenty of people would be happy to take our jobs." A chill ran down Jackson's spine. Brad Miller. He remembered the name from the management roster. Regional manager. Good performance. Reviews. No red flags in his file. At least none